While the world debates politics, Pakistan's soldiers are fighting and dying every single day to defend this nation from the menace of terrorism. From the rugged mountains of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa to the deserts of Balochistan, our soldiers stand at the front lines of a war that most people don't even see, a war of Pakistan's very survival. But here's the question: while our soldiers are shedding their blood, are the local governments and civil administrations matching their sacrifice? Are those who govern doing their duty with the same commitment with which our soldiers guard our borders? Are the political leaders filling the governance gaps, or are those gaps being filled with the blood of our heroes? And most importantly, how long can Pakistan's armed forces keep fighting a war that was supposed to be won through collective national effort? This is Makhdoom Shahabuddin and you're watching Fact Flow, where we separate facts from fiction and loyalty from lip service. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan's war against terrorism has been one of the longest and most costly counter-terrorism campaigns in the modern history. Since 2001, Pakistan has lost more than 90,000 lives, including civilians, soldiers, police officers, and intelligence personnel, in the fight against terror. The defining moment came in December 2014, when 150 innocent children were martyred in the horrific army public school attack in Peshawar. That tragedy changed Pakistan forever. In its aftermath, the entire nation united and launched the National Action Plan, a comprehensive 20-point strategy to eliminate terrorism in all its forms. The plan was revised in 2021 into a 14-point framework and has now been integrated into the national vision known as Vision Azm-e-Istehkam. The National Action Plan brought together every political party, every religious school of thought, and every institution. It was not a partisan effort. It was Pakistan's collective promise to its martyrs that the soil watered with their blood would never again be surrendered to terror. So the question arises, what is the National Action Plan? The National Action Plan has two main dimensions: the kinetic and non-kinetic. The kinetic domain involves the use of force, actions carried out by Pakistan's armed forces and law enforcement agencies. It includes zero tolerance for militancy, taking firm action against terrorist propaganda, whether on social media, in print, or on television, and a relentless crackdown on sectarian terrorism. It also includes choking all sources of terror financing, dismantling prescribed organizations, and curbing illegal trafficking of narcotics, weapons, and humans. These are the points that demand daily sacrifice from our soldiers, police, and intelligence officers. The non-kinetic domain deals with governance reform and the long-term roots of extremism. It includes ensuring speedy trial of terrorism cases, strengthening counter-terrorism departments in the provinces, implementing de-radicalization policies, regulating and registering religious madrasas, reforming the merged districts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and the province of Balochistan, and repatriation of Afghan refugees. It also involves curbing the political criminal nexus that fuels illegal economies. Out of the 14 points in the revised plan, only one falls directly under the armed forces. The rest, the majority, require the full participation of provincial and federal governments, the judiciary, and the media. How Pakistan's armed forces are fighting on the front lines? Let's look at the hard facts. In the year 2021, 190 terrorists were eliminated. In 2022, that number rose to 353. In 2023, 578 were taken down. In 2024, 1,018 terrorists were neutralized. And in just the first 8 months of 2025, 1,422 terrorists have already been eliminated, including 118 confirmed Afghan nationals and 135 who were killed while attempting infiltration from Afghanistan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a limited campaign. It is an ongoing war, fought every day through intelligence-based operations or IBOs. In 2025 alone, up to mid-September, Pakistan's armed forces and law enforcement agencies have conducted 57,315 IBOs. That means nearly 180 to 190 operations every single day. Or in single terms, or simpler terms, one operation roughly every 8 minutes. Behind every headline that says terrorist killed lies a soldier, a constable, or an intelligence officer who risked his life so that the rest of us could live in peace. They are fighting where governance has failed. They are filling the gaps left by weak institutions. They are holding the line so the nation can stand. And yet, the biggest threat today is not just the terrorists. It's the governance vacuum that allows them to return. In Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan, where terrorism has resurged, weak administration, political interference, and corruption are feeding the problem. Drug traffickers, smugglers, and warlords finance local militias. These mafias run illegal economies worth billions of rupees, and too often they enjoy protection from local political figures who profit from instability. Take smuggling as an example. Pakistan has reduced the smuggling of Iranian diesel from 15 million liters a day to just 1.5 million liters. That's a massive achievement. Yet even this progress is being undermined by political pressure and local interference that prevent enforcement from going further. So let's ask the real question. Are the local governments, our provincial administrations, and our institutions truly matching the sacrifice of our soldiers? While the armed forces are conducting nearly 200 operations every day, what are the civilian authorities doing to ensure that these sacrifices translate into lasting peace? Are schools being rebuilt in the cleared areas? Are healthcare centers, police stations, and courts being strengthened? Are the smuggling and narco network, the financial lifelines of terrorism, being uprooted? Or are we once again allowing these criminal nexus to creep back and undo years of progress? Ladies and gentlemen, when the governance collapses, the soldiers fill the vacuum. But at what cost? Every bullet fired in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa or Balochistan represents not only a fight against terror, but also a failure of governance somewhere down the line. If our soldiers can give their blood, why can't our local leaders give their effort? If our troops can stand guard day and night, why can't our institutions work with the same dedication for the people they serve? The National Action Plan makes it crystal clear. Pakistan's war against terrorism is not just a military mission. It's a national responsibility. The media must play its role in countering extremist propaganda and false narratives. The judiciary must ensure swift and fair justice in terrorism cases. Provincial governments must reform their police, close governance gaps, and eliminate corruption. And the federal government must take decisive action on repatriation of Afghan refugees and on effective border management. Yet some political leaders continue to oppose military operations, criticize deportations, and even shield certain groups under the guise of human rights or political opposition. So let's ask plainly, if someone opposes action against terrorists, what does that really mean? Are they standing with our soldiers or with those who are killing them? Every time a soldier embraces martyrdom, he fills the gap left by poor governance. He defends the flag while others debate politics. So before criticizing military operations or repatriation efforts, ask yourself, who benefits if we stop? Who gains if we give up? Pakistan's armed forces are fulfilling their duty with courage and sacrifice. Now it's time for our civil institutions to rise, for our politics to mature, and for every citizen to contribute to national stability. Because the war on terror is not over, it's evolving, and the future of Pakistan will depend on whether we fight together or fall divided. If you found this episode insightful, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Pakistan Connect for more episodes of Fact Flow, where truth flows stronger than propaganda.